guys, welcome back to Worth the Spin. I'm your host, Just Jack. Okay, we're going to take a look at some more of the latest pickups that I have gotten lately in the past 2-3 weeks of the Beatles. Like I said, there's been kind of a glut in my area lately. It seems like it's like all of a sudden they're bringing a lot of stuff into the Beatles and dropping it off at different places. Some of it hasn't been processed yet. I've seen their videos, flippy videos, and I've talked to someone who know me who say, hey, I got this kind of this in, but I'm not ready to put it out yet, just letting you know, and stuff like that. So I picked up a few other items. So we looked at some CDs that I had got in that were pretty cool. And then we know I'm not a big CD guy, but these were kind of hard to pass on because they were neat. They're neat, and the price was definitely right. So we're going to take a look at some of the vinyls that I picked up now. All right, so this one's not, some of these, this is not like new or anything or groundbreaking or ultra rare. This has been floating around since 78. I've just never picked one up. I've seen it a few times. Usually I see it, it doesn't have the cover to it. It's in another cover, a generic cover or something. But I picked it up because it was a crazy price. It was like $4.99. So I picked it up and I was going to put it on the wall, but then you can't see I have nowhere on the wall to put anything. So I just slid it in with the rest of the record collection. It's been opened up, so somebody's listened to it. I'm not going to because I'm not a big fan of picture disc. Their quality is not really there. I think the ones these days sound better than they used to. But being 78, I don't think this is going to be a very hi-fi. I could be wrong. So anyway, I picked this up. Picture disc of the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Bit of a glare there, sorry. I've been working on lighting, but obviously not well enough. Alrighty, and this was bought at Recordland, and they tore the little price tag off, which is a bummer. Has a cellophane on it, so that's cool. That's the front of it, and this is the back of it. Well, it's the back of the package that it comes in, and that is your track listing there of what's in here. The back of it is just the back of the Sgt. Pepper cover. I'm just not going to take it out. And again, this was released in like 1978, so this is kind of a cool little find. Like I said, I see them now and then, but it's just a disc in a plain white cardboard thing. And I was like, they're always like 15, 20 bucks. I'm like, why would I pay that for that? Something I'm not going to listen to. But I came across that at like a $4.99. I'm like, it'd be crazy not to get that. Other item that I've acquired. I don't do good with the English language. This is the Beatles Rarities, and it's not the American one. It is the UK one. So that is kind of cool. Some UK things are popping up here and there. It's a little weird. So it was kind of cool, so I had to pick this up. This was pretty cheap because the cover is not the best, I'm afraid. You can't always get mint covers. If you look, there's quite a bit of damage right there. Yeah, that kind of is a bummer. But this was another one of those that was in the like a $6. So it's hard to pass that up. And this would be your disc, and this is a 1979. I think it's second pressing. It's on 2-box EMI. So these 2 boxes, they ran for a little while there in the 70s and into the early 80s. So, and the thing about this is what's cool is it's not really all that great. The American Rarities is kind of cool. Not so much, I think, now for a Beatles collector because of what's on there. You can get a lot of it on other stuff. But back in 82 when the American version came out, there was a lot of really cool stuff on there. And you can only get in UK album stuff. So, but this just has mainly stuff like, which this was supposed to be a big deal in Europe. And this came out of that blue box. There was a blue box with a bunch of stereo pressings. All the Beatles stuff redone in stereo. It was in that big blue box. And it goes for like, I don't know, $1,000 or something. Not as much as it used to. And it's all these, what they call a EMI 2 box. That's because of the EMI label, the symbol right there. You have 2 of those. There are some that are 1 box, which is kind of a misprint, I believe. And they're worth quite a bit of money because they're harder to find. They were just kind of a random thing. So this really was not a big deal in Europe when it came out because this was basically, it's supposed to be rarities. And it's not really rare, all that rare stuff on here. Because these were just stuff that was released in the UK and it was B-sides for the most part. Across the Universe. This has a version that came out on the Charity album, which you can get that now. That's on anthology set, and there's a couple other albums that's on. This with the birds, starting off with the birds flapping. Not my favorite version of it. It's honestly not one of my more favorite Beatles songs, so adding bird effects to it makes it even a little bit less my favorite. You got Yes It Is, This Boy, Inner Light, I'll Get You, Thank You Girl. It's all B-sides from singles that came out in the UK. Then you have the two German, I Won't Hold Your Hand and She Loves You, which are in German. And I can't say the names, so I won't, so you know what they are. Maybe. If you don't, Google it. You know my name, look up the number, another B-side, and I squeeze that in between the two German, which is very weird that would be in between the two German tracks. I would have thought they would put those together, but whatever. And you got Rain, She's a Woman, Matchbox, I Call Your Name, Bad Boy, Slow Down, I'm Down, and Long Tall Sally. All B-sides that weren't on albums originally when they first came out. Not really that big a deal in Europe when this came out. They're like, that's nothing. Most people bought the singles, so, they had those. Nowadays, this stuff is available in a lot of stuff. So the thing of it is it was just cool. It was $6. It's a MI2 box, which I only have a few of. So, it was kind of cool. For that price, I'll pick it up, listen to it, stuck it in the collection. It's not that big a deal. These are a little bit more of a big deal, and so these are nice. So, the 2014 mono box set that came out that sold out, and in 2014, I don't know where I was at in my life, but it wasn't buying records. So, it's something I missed out on, and they did a new one, and I'm not going to get on my soapbox about that. The whole, they couldn't send an email to make it nationally known to all people so that any Beatles fan who wanted this box set could get in on this. And this is a $600 box set. And I know that seems expensive, but for what you're getting, it's not. And the fact that the original one from 2014 sells for roughly $1,600 to $1,800. And this one is already scooped up by the people who are not Beatle fans. Scooped them up because there's a limit of 4. Appreciate that very much, Apple. Thank you very much. Not only did you not tell us regular Beatle fans that unless we had bought something, so if you bought from the Beatles official store, you got the email. If you never bought from them, like I haven't, because as far as I'm concerned, they're overpriced and their shipping is out of hand. So I could get the same releases in a store, $5, $6, $7 less, $10 less, and not pay the postage. So why would I buy from the official Beatles store? I don't have that kind of money, to be honest with you. So I didn't get the email. A lot of people that don't buy the overpriced editions from the Beatles store didn't get the email. So the people who do, and most of them are resellers, they got it. And there's a limit of 4. So that's so kind of you, a limit of 4. So what do? They buy them all up. So now they're all over freaking eBay, of course, for what? $1,300, $1,400, $1,500, $1,700. So the true Beatle fans who really want them, I'm sure a few of you got them, and congratulations. But the rest of us who would like to own that set, it's like, because I don't. I'll get off real quick. This is my thing. I don't understand the concept here. Okay, you're supposed to be selling to the fans, and this is not the only issue. There's other issues. I collect toys and stuff, so this is other issues too. So like there's this big pre-sale for this little Hot Wheels Jaws boat. So instead of producing these things in a quantity that is going to sell to the people who really want them, so that your company who produced this item, make all the money, they make just enough and set it up for just these type of people who buy things just to resell, and then they buy them all up and resell them at 4, 5, 10 times what they paid for them. So I don't understand that, because if you have a company and you're spending money to produce a product to sell to make profit off of that, then why would you set it up for a certain group of people to buy it and buy it all up and sell it, so that the people who really want it have to spend 3, 4, 5, 10 times the amount to get it? Now they're making all that profit that you're the company, would have made. So I'm confused on that business moral. I'm not a business guy, so maybe I just don't understand how business works. I'm done. So anyway, So I went to the shop, and he's had 4 of these. I got 2. I'm going to try and get the other 2. Somebody don't snag them. So these are the original 2014 mono box set. One of them is not open. It's still sealed. So there's the hype sticker for it right there. And that's the album. And this is with the Beatles. And there's the back side. And these are just faithful reproductions of the original albums that came out in the 60s. Innards, all that. All this is original, what it would look like had you bought it in the 60s. So this is really cool. They're not super... They're cool. I like to own it, and I like to listen to them without the little bits of static and a little this and that, because I have all my originals that I got from Europe, and they have, some of them have issues, but you buy what you can afford, and you enjoy it. But it'd been nice to have that set. But it's sealed. I'm going to leave it sealed just because I have the originals. There's no point in me opening it up. So the other one that they had is out of that box set was Magical Mystery Tour. It was open. So I listened to that. And there you go. That's the inside. And again, this is faithful to the original album, which, as you know, was an American creation. One of the very few, probably the only thing that Capitol ever got right or did right, as far as a lot of fans and the Beatles themselves are concerned, by taking an EP that was released in Europe that only contained 5 songs, and releasing it with singles that came out around that time frame that perfectly just matched, it just matched it. So this is a great idea. Europe said, hey, this is a great idea. We're going to incorporate it. So in 76, this came out in 76, and it's identical pretty much to the American one. And that's about it. Again, this is out of the 2014 box set, along with the Beatles. So he also has Please Please Me and I think Revolver. And they're sealed, and they have the hype stickers and stuff, which is really cool. So I'm hoping to get those. I got some trade and to go in on it because they're a little pricey. But he wants some of the stuff that I got, and I want some of the stuff that he's got, and that's how that works. So I'm going to see if I can grab those other 2 and have 4 of them from that set. That would be nice. So it's kind of one of these things. These are kind of one of those things, you get a chance, you buy them. It's kind of a I don't know, seesaw thing. It's, do I buy it in pieces? And like I said, I collect toys and stuff. And so I have another expensive set from Japan that I'm working on, not Beatles related. And, when you find these loose pieces, do you buy them and put this set together piece by piece and it work out cheaper for you? Or do you take the plunge and give these, I'm going to say it, thieves, they're $1,600, $1,700, $1,800 on eBay to get it all in one set? That's kind of up to you to decide. So, but there's also the option of, I may find these 4, but will I find more? His opinion, somebody is selling off this 2014 box set because they knew the other one was coming out because they buy from the Beatles website. So they're selling them off separately to make some extra cash here and there, and instead of doing it all in one lump, because they feel that they'll make more money off of them individually than they will as a set. And he doesn't know if they're going to bring more into the shop or these are sold at multiple shops. So this could be in multiple shops where this guy just broke this box up. Be cool if I can find more and eventually over time get them. I know they're like on eBay and stuff like that, but I try to stay off of eBay. I use eBay for a reference. I try not to buy too much from eBay. No offense to anybody who does eBay, but if you're one of these who snagged off 4 of the mono box sets, you were allowed just to resell, so that people like me who would like to pay the money for it and own it, to have it to listen to, can't. I'm not crazy about you anyway. All right, we'll let that go. I probably said more than I should. I try not to get too political on things, but sometimes it just happens. All right, so that's the other new pickups I have. I think I have a couple other records that I did pick up lately that I can talk about. We'll probably do another video down the road. Let me go today and see, make a couple of visits and see if anything more pops up. It's interesting the things that are coming up all of a sudden into shops used Whereas there's such a, in my area in St. Louis, it's just a long period of, you just don't see stuff. And when you do, it's just the usual typical stuff. And most of it looks like, crap, honestly. So it's kind of cool that some of this stuff is popping up out of the woodwork all of a sudden. Weird, but, it's kind of cool. All right, so anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed this video and I've not offended anybody or chased anybody away. So if you have liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Greatly appreciate it. Subscribe. That's greatly appreciated. I have no promotions or advertising or giving any money to any big companies coming from these videos. I make nothing off of them. It's just me hanging out in my house, killing some time to something I enjoy, talking about records and hoping that maybe I can give you some information next time you're in a record shop and you see something, you're like, I have no idea if this is any good. If you ask the guy behind the counter, he's probably going to say, yeah, it's worth buying, because he's not going to make money if he says it's crap. So this is kind of a way, I'm kind of looking at it. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you will watch some of my past videos and enjoy those. Hopefully you will enjoy my videos going forward. I will keep my soapbox into my closet where it belongs and not make any more comments that I should not make on things. All right, I appreciate you watching. Hope you have a great day. Sprinkle a little bit of love out there, because we need a little more love in this world. A little bit of kindness. Music, make it your soundtrack. Use whatever you want. CDs, records, cassettes, 8-tracks, reel-to-reel, vinyl, just saying. But put a soundtrack to your life. Make it good, because we all need a little happy in our lives instead of a little non-happiness, because there's too much of that going on. Again, I appreciate you watching my channel. I hope you get something from it. And again, if I offended anybody with any comments, I do apologize greatly. Alrighty. I'll talk to y'all next time. Thanks for watching.